I'm a legend.
I'm a legend. I'm a legend.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Busted Lip Podcast. My name is Mark Pavelich. Nobody ever knows where she really is.
Oh, Mark, come home.
Okay, you're home. The one and only eight-time 3-division world boxing champion, Jelena Mrdjenovich. And ladies and gentlemen, one of my ultimate favorite guests of all time. We got guys from the NFL, NHL, all these, but there's only a few maniacs left in this world, okay? And he's my maniac. Everybody, please, the one and only Nick Pelletier on the Busted Lip Podcast.
Hey,
Yo,
I'm
thanks
super
for having
excited
me.
about this.
Yo.
Nick, you know what the
so
difference
pumped.
is?
Hold on,
Please
I'm
be
so pumped.
Please,
I'm so
please.
pumped because like Mark was like talking about you and like how you were on before, and I was like, hold on, wait a minute, what? Like you're so awesome. You are so unbelievably awesome. And like I am so excited. Like I'm excited for all of our guests, but like today you can ask Mark. I was like, wait, what? He did what? So sorry,
Yeah,
to interrupt.
Nick, this
I'm
is
just
the
super
difference, Nick.
excited.
We're not
I
gonna-
wanted you to know.
Yeah, we're not going to let you talk this episode, Nick. We're just going to grease your nutsack the whole episode, because literally,
take it.
literally, like this is what has to start happening in this world. Guys like you need more clout, more respect, more money for what you do, because what you do is literally, if I go on your Instagram, I need to go on your Instagram probably every fucking day and just get that like like I'm literally choking and I'm shitting, literally like I'm biting my fingernails, and it's because what you're doing, Nick, and I want you to live forever. Chances you won't, but I love you. I want you to be great, and you're back in Kelowna.
We're back. Yep. Been around the world, but we're back home now. So, yeah, it's been a whirlwind, but
this.
yeah, happy to be here.
Okay, so for all of our viewers that don't know who you are, can you just give us, because you wear many hats and you've done a lot of cool shit. So I want
There's
you
no
to
way to
explain-
introduce you no more. It's like fucking base jump, this jump, bike this, swim that. So what is the overall circumference of what you do?
I would say I'm an ultra endurance athlete, an adventurer, and base jumper is kind of my main get up, I guess. And inside ultra, I do running, cycling, swimming. I do like mountaineering stuff, and then just any like one-off challenges I like, and then base jumper as well, skydiver, base jumper. Yeah.
Nick, this isn't going to make sense to you at all, but I can't stand this, and I got to get it off my chest. I'm sitting in Vancouver today, and I'm showing my future son-in-law what you do, and he's a hardcore, like he probably would have been a pro skateboarder, but he's too cool to do that, and he has to make real money right now. So he literally was like, "Holy shit! How did I not know about this guy?" I go, "You know about him because I just told you about him, right? So this is what you need to know now." And the crazy part is, it's driving me nuts. Like when you guys do these marathons, you do the Moab and the rest of these things. And listen to me, I get it. Fucking Goggins is the man. He's the man. Fuck Nick, he ain't you. He ain't you, Nick. And that's what people got to understand something here. I like Goggins, okay? But if Goggins wanted to box with me and Jelena, he'd get the shit kicked out of him at this day and age. Now, if he's going to do all the crazy shit he does, all power to him. But it kills me to see everybody running next to him and trying to get next to him and do the pictures with him and all that kind of shit. And I'm thinking to myself, Nick, do you not understand, bro? That he should be asking to take a picture with you. Do you understand that? I know you don't understand it because you're a good Canadian kid from Canada, and you're like, this is great and whatever. But what I'm trying to tell you, I can't stand it no more. It's time for your clout to rise, my friend. It's got to rise. And this is the day. I've had enough of it. I don't ever want to see you in a picture with Goggins unless he's asking you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is cool to like pay tribute to the guys that, got me into this type of stuff. Like it was a pretty cool experience to run with him at Moab. But yeah, I mean, it is tough coming from Canada. You don't always get the same amount of like publicity and support that, you know, you might get in an American climate. So that's kind of this past year I went down to the States, went down to LA, just like cold approaching people, trying to make contacts. And I did make some really cool friends and contacts, and I'm hoping that that'll kind of pay dividends in my next endeavors here coming up.
So I have a question. Were you more well received in the States? Like, were people more like, holy shit, that's so cool, and like supporting you and all the things than in Canada, or is it about the same for you?
Well, I always I have a ton of Canadian fans and people that follow and support me, but I'm saying like the people who have the ability to be like in the brand, heads of brands, or like the people that can move the needle as far as funding monetarily for these endeavors. You kind of have to meet them, and for like, you're just one of another 100,000 people that are emailing them, cold emailing to try and get support, right? And but if you talk about it in person and you meet them, and you know, you can talk about what you've done, and you can see the passion and conviction in which you're talking about it. Like, it just, that's how networking happens, right? It's face to face all the time. So just kind of had to go down and try and make it work. So.
You're preaching to the choir, because I have the same experience with boxing. Is like, okay, it's just this girl from Canada, whatever. So that's why I was asking for, like, in my experience, people are like, oh, you fought in the States? That's super cool. That's legit. And again, the networking, you meet people, and more Americans are willing to put their money where their mouth is, whereas in Canada,
So true.
kind of you talk in circles, not everybody, but you talk in circles with promoters, funding, sponsors, and things like that, and it's more of a hard sell. Whereas in the States, maybe it's because the population is bigger and they see the results and the support and all the things, and they feel a different type of way about supporting athletes and different athletes. Like, I mean, boxing is more mainstream, but female boxing, when I started, it was a hard sell. And I can totally relate to where you're coming from, because, you know, Mark and I have had this talk a million different times about, like, if I was American, or if I moved to the States earlier to fight, I'd be 10 times bigger. And
we had Olympic athletes on. We've had Olympic athletes on from Canada that had this. You said it, Jay. They told you, like, they literally, their mother and father have to pay to go to the Olympics. They couldn't even stay for the closing ceremonies. Jay, they couldn't even stay for the closing ceremonies. How messed up is that in our country, that an athlete's parent, he can't even stay for the closing ceremonies. They don't have the funding for that. And I thought to myself, are we a third world country now in Canada that we can't, that can't be a thing? Like, we don't have a thing.
Calm down.
What do you mean calm down?
Like a lot of.
Wait a second, Jay. Jay, what do you mean calm down? How the fuck would I calm down when this is an ongoing trend in this country? It's disgusting on all levels.
Mark,
a guy like Nick should have 500,000 followers, not 50,000.
Guess what? Guess what, Mark? He doesn't play hockey, and that's why he gets no support. Like, I mean, Nick, you could speak for yourself. I mean, even when you're pursuing baseball, it's a hard sell in Canada, right? Like, it's
I mean, like, a lot of these, I mean, a lot of the sports, like, I grew up playing baseball here, but again, like, you can't play year round. I was in a baseball program where I trained year round, but you really just can't compete with Arizona, California. The guys are playing year round. But I guess in my sport now, or the sports I play, like, you're not going to get rich off the sport, whereas like a UFC or football, NFL, baseball, like, there's a streamlined pathway that if you make it, then you're getting paid for that. And then you can also do the endorsements and things on it. Whereas like this sport I'm doing, if you don't do the social media, if you don't bring people along the journey, make the documentaries, like, build a following, then you might be able to do one a year, but like, you're paying for it out of your work, and then time to train becomes less. So my goal is to just like be able to make it all encompassing. My training is my work. Like, the support goes back into projects, so I can do more projects, bring people along more, like, make more videos, and just like, but if you don't do that stuff, then you really can't make a go of it. Like, nobody's just going to pay you. Nobody's just going to pay you to do it, right? So. Yeah.
And then all of the videos and all of that other stuff takes away from your training, because that takes time in itself. Like, nobody's doing it for you.
Yeah,
You
no,
can't
there's lots
afford
of people too
to
that
pay
have.
people to do it.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I've done
I
all
get
my
it.
own stuff basically. I mean, like at some of the more professional videos, I've had like an editor like do the final cut for everything, but a lot of the time I'm filming myself and doing editing myself, reaching out to brands, like setting up the logistics, the training, my own training plans, nutrition, everything. So yeah, it's a one
How
man
long have
show for the
you
most part.
how long have you been doing it?
So I played college
Just your
baseball
stream. Yeah.
until I was like 2017, 2018. So I'd say since then, kind of, I switched from baseball into endurance. First, I was doing short course triathlon, so like Olympic distance. Um, but I was racing with guys who actually one of them just became the fastest Ironman, Canadian Ironman ever. 7 hours 29 minutes. Brock
Unbelievable.
Cole's his name. So I'm training with like these world class guys who also don't get enough credit for what they do.
Yes.
But I realized that I wasn't going to be an Olympian. They're like Olympic level triathletes. But I really enjoyed like our long rides on the weekend, like our long training sessions. So I remember one day I just got like a baby stroller and put a bunch of food and stuff in it. I had a Forrest Gump Halloween costume and I ran around like Okanagan Lake here. It was like my first ultra. I just want to see like how far I could go. I did like 140K. It was in the middle of winter, running through the night and stuff. And after that, I was just like, okay, this is what I want to. This is what I want to do.
What
and
is
then,
it, Nick? What is it? What is it on a like kilometer 110 in your brain? That clicks that goes, oh, this is for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, during it might not even feel like that. It might feel like you just are trying to find a way to take the next step, right? It's very like you gotta look small. You can't look at like the huge undertaking ahead of you. You just gotta focus on what's right in front of you. And then you finish and you might say, man, I'm never doing that again. You're so tired. And then like one day passes and you get a shower and you get a good sleep and you're like, oh, I can do it better. Like I want to do it better. I can do it better next time. And it just like keeps going, keeps going. And I guess that's happened like all my endeavors. Like my first cycle trip was across America. It was 50
Insane.
days solo. That was like my very first one. And I made a video each day. And then my next one was across Mexico from Cabo up to Baja down to Cancun. And I hit the lowest and highest point in the country along the way.
Also
And
insane.
the highest point was like
Yeah.
Pico de Orizaba. It's like a 5,000, like 600-meter cliff mountain. And then I guess my next one, I guess they all progressed. So my most recent bike ride was across all of Africa from Cairo to Cape Town. It was like 79 riding days through 9 countries. Hit the highest point and lowest point in the continent. So Lac of Sal's this like, it's the second saltiest body of water in the world. It's this lake in Djibouti. And I was down there and there's like military vehicles with like 20 guys with AKs telling me I got to get out of there. And I told them like I came here from Canada and like I'm going swimming. So you're either like watching me go in or like you can leave and I'm going. So all these guys with machine guns are watching me go swimming in this salty body of water.
Crazy.
Then the highest
you
point
ever
in the
worried?
continent,
Hold
obviously
on.
Kilimanjaro.
Sorry, hold on. Can we just pause for a second? Like, because like that is insane. Like, so were you ever worried at that point? Like, were you like, oh shit, I might get shot today? Like,
Well, I
come
mean,
on.
I didn't think they'd do anything like that. Like the military is usually pretty good, but a lot of these countries I went through, you'd have like ununiformed people with these guns as well, so you couldn't tell if they're like military
Those are the
people
ones you have
just
to worry about. Yeah.
just in street clothes, or if they're actually like militia type people.
So,
And in like
sorry,
Ethiopia,
I have
okay, yeah.
hold on, I have so many questions. I am a question person. When I'm like, so when you go and you do this, because you're a one-man army basically, because you like, you know, you've been doing do you have like a liaison or like an ambassador? It's just you. Like, do you
Just
clear
on the
it with
swim.
anybody?
On the swim you did, right? On the swim you
Yeah,
did.
it depends what endeavor, but yeah, my swims, because obviously like I can't film myself when I'm swimming and stuff. So like
Sweet.
my swims, I'd usually have a support boat with a few people on it and like a videographer, my crew. But yeah, any run or any like swims, bike rides every bike ride's been solo. My Moab, my most recent one, I had one pacer and like a videographer. But I mean myself ultras I just go out and do are all solo. So most of my stuff's
So,
solo,
like,
I'd say.
okay, so like, sorry, because my simple mind is trying to work around all of these things. So, like, say you go to Mexico and you're like, do you clear it with like a diplomat or like an ambassador?
Yeah,
Or it's
somebody.
just like fuck
No,
it,
I
let's go
mean,
ride a bike around.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
they do get.
there's a lot
I
of
did.
dangerous people everywhere.
Everywhere.
I did Mexico during like it was kind of in the COVID times where like crossing borders, you had to get the
Visa.
swab and they had to cross within an X amount of time. So I chose Mexico because it's a big country and I could go throughout all of it without crossing a border, basically. Whereas like
Yeah.
Africa was, I chose to do Africa now because like political landscapes in all these countries, there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to do it if you wait, right? So like even on this trip, I was supposed to go through Sudan because my countries were Egypt. I was supposed to go through Sudan, but they had a war going on, so I had to go across the Red Sea into Saudi Arabia. I could cross into Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya.
I just love Djibouti. When I saw in your videos saying Djibouti,
South Africa.
When you were saying Djibouti on your videos, I was getting a kick out of it. I was just like the word Djibouti. For some reason, every time you said the word Djibouti, this will become a very famous drinking game in Canada through Nick, through saying the word Djibouti. And and the drunker you get, the more Djibouti you get. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, when you were doing those videos, and it was like
maybe
you were
we
going
could
through
build
Africa.
a board game.
Yeah, when you were going through Africa, I was watching you and I was just like, this is insane, man. Especially the trucks. When you're doing the nighttime shit, those trucks were getting ultra close. Close.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, so there, I mean, the roads there are pretty bad. So
yes,
a lot of times you'd be like cycling. They don't have shoulders. There'd be like semis and they're all trying to pass each other and they'll pass like beside each other and they'll just go the same speed. So you have to like ditch off on the side of the road. So to me, like, and that was all day, like constant, depending what country, but trucks are always going. You'll see like one a day flipped over, semis on the side, like just craziness. But I actually found it was kind of safer to ride at night. Like everybody's saying, oh, don't ride at night, that's dangerous. But like my truck's limited like tenfold at night and I could hear them coming and see their lights from far. And that had like the whole road. But there are some countries where I couldn't do that. Like in Ethiopia, they have like posted military people on the roads during the day. But at nighttime, there's like nobody. And that's when the kind of like militia people are out and it's not good. So there, I couldn't ride at night. You just kind of had to know. But Africa, like I was saying, it's a big logistical nightmare almost because you had to get 9 different visas for 9 different countries and time them all right and make sure that you're out of the country by X time. And yeah, so it was tough. I won't lie, but
what was the TV box? What was the TV box thing going on? What was that all about? The TV box.
Like I said, I had to, because Sudan had a war, has a war going on. So the guy who did this originally, who I got from Mark Pavelich, that was his route, went through Sudan and everything. But I had to go across to Saudi Arabia because I had to go around Sudan. So I took a ferry. I went through Egypt, took a ferry across Saudi Arabia, and rode all the way down to the bottom of Saudi, like right above Yemen. And then I had to try and find a boat or something back across to Djibouti, but there was no boats or anything that would take me. So I had to book a flight just to pop back over the Red Sea to go to Djibouti to continue on. And it's not like in Canada or somewhere where you can walk up to a bike shop and get like a bike box and pack it up this.
None of that.
Yeah, and I can't use like a hard shell case one because when I land, there's like nowhere to put it, and they don't even have that option in Saudi Arabia. So I had to buy a TV because a TV is like similar size box, like buy a huge TV, and then I gave the TV away to some random family on the street.
They must
and
think
took
this
the
guy's
box.
insane.
Like I bought like $1,000 TV just for the box. And then,
goodness,
yeah, but they're pretty like skeptical. Like, why are you giving?
Yeah, why would you do that?
Why are you giving this to me? Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, they call me Mr. White Man.
Like...
They say, "Why, Mr. White Man? Why, Mr. White Man?"
Mr. White Man giving away boxes on the street, giving away TVs, keeping the box. They must have thought you were a lunatic.
Yeah.
Oh my! Like I have so many questions. It's like okay, in Africa, like, were you afraid? Like, were there animals? Like, did you drive?
Animals.
Did you? They're like, Were you afraid of getting
Yeah.
eaten by a tiger? Like, these are questions I have because I
Yeah,
would be.
I didn't see any lion. I did one safari one day in Kenya because one of my back tires on the bike like blew up. A piece of metal flew off a truck, so I was stuck in Kenya for a day while I was trying to fix that. So I decided to go on a safari. So I saw like every animal there. Rhinos,
That's
lions,
cool.
zebras, everything. But the ones I saw on the road while riding were zebras, giraffes, elephants. Elephants were the most scary because
They are, yeah.
No
you know
shit,
they're
they're so
massive. You
big.
see them in person. Yeah, it's like Zambia, Botswana. There was this thing 300 kilometers at the top of Botswana called like the Elephant Gauntlet. So you'd like all day long just see elephants everywhere. And they're not as bad like when you're on the bike because you're not as like threatening to them. But when I went to Victoria Falls in is it Zambia or yeah, I think it's Zambia, Victoria. It's like the biggest waterfall in the world by volume. So I was there and I was going up to go to the border at Botswana. It was like my last day there. And when I was leaving, there were these elephants walking across this like corridor on the road. And all the cars were stopped and like backing up because the mom had a baby with it and it was like swinging its
Oh.
trunk and it was all like
Wow.
scared. And then so everybody like stopped and waited. And then all of a sudden, like right beside me, this like huge bull male came out with these huge like tusks and was like trumpeting. And this guy behind me is like, get in my van, get in my van. Like ran, jumped in his van. He has his pistol out. Like these two guys who were on bikes in front of me, like threw their bikes and just like sprinted. I was looking around like, oh shit. What should I do? And then, so yeah,
That
I back.
is
But I mean, like
insanity.
for the most part, you give them space, you're all right. But yeah, I never saw any lions, so that's
So,
good.
but
Yeah.
now you're thinking like that's crazy, but then you decide I'm going to really double down on this base jumping. And so now you go, okay, I'm riding through Africa. This shit's not fucked
The
up
whole,
enough.
like-
No, wait, this shit's not fucked up enough. I'm gonna start base jumping the shit out of this thing. But I'm gonna just base jump from everywhere. And the number one thing that most people are noticing, Nick, about your base jumping technique, not that I'm an expert in base jumping, which I'm absolutely not, but people that I show the base jumping to, the ongoing consensus is you don't pull the chute very quickly, that you are very dramatic with your falling, and that you basically are not like most guys jump pull. You're like jump, double flip, float down until you start seeing TV wires or whatever. I don't know what it is, man. And then
My
you
heart-
pull that
my
shit.
heart
And I'm
is
like, Nick, is this like a thing? Is that your style, or is that something you know that you're actually doing?
Nah,
Or are you just
no,
trying
I mean,
to get
if
the
you know,
adrenaline drive even more? You're like, fuck this, I've done everything. I need more adrenaline. Let's see how low we can go.
yeah, I mean, it's
Oh.
it's different type. Like, there's different types of jumps, right? There's low. They're called slider up or slider down. So, like, the slider down jumps are these like lower jumps where you have to like open really quick.
Right
Whereas,
away.
like the ones I was doing in like Brento, Italy, are these like huge, massive cliffs where you can take like really long delays on them. So even if it looks like you're pulling like low, it's not actually that low. Like higher is actually safer. Like lower is kind of more dangerous and more dramatic. Everything. It just isn't. It doesn't look that way. But I mean, jumping things in like Moab, Utah, where you're opening like pretty close to the ground is a lot more dangerous, I would say. But I mean, again, it's like it's funny because like from the outside perspective, for people who don't do it, it looks crazy. But in all the sports I do, like there
It
are better
is
ultra
crazy.
runners, there's better
Hold
ultra
on.
swimmers,
No.
there's better ultra
No,
cyclists, there's
no,
better
no.
base jumpers. But
No. Hold on, Nick. It is crazy. Like, your family
Yeah.
must lose their shit. Like, I am
Oh, yeah.
telling you. Like,
oh no, they actually came up to exit point with me. I brought my mom and dad. They're in their 70s. They came up in the middle of winter in Canmore to climb up to the exit and watch me jump.
you're giving me heart palpitations, and I just met you today officially. I've been researching you, but like, I am like the whole like I like to take care of my people, and like every part of me is like, what in the fuck were you thinking?
Well, yeah, I think
Anyway,
I think
sorry,
my
your
biggest
family
thing
is
is like I think I love like the versatility of being able to do like I don't want to I could probably give up other sports to be a better ultra runner, or I could probably just focus on ultra swimming or just be a base jumper, right? And I know, like I was saying, there are like my mentor Chase, he's like one of the best base jumpers in the world. Like if you should see the stuff he does, it's absolutely nuts. And I mean, like there's people who ran Moab
What
almost
makes
twice
it
as
nuts?
fast as me.
What's it make it? Why does it make it nuts what he does and not nuts what you do?
It is nuts.
I mean,
Mark.
it's still.
Yeah, I know.
Like
I know.
you have to be competent in what you're doing, and like,
Yes, of course.
what I'm doing is still like you need to be on your shit, but like what Chase is doing. Whereas if I'll do like a straight jump off a cliff and track away, Chase will be doing like a triple flip and a hijab and like using it as a wingsuit to track away, and like he's doing like just insane stuff.
I
Or
saw-
he's like a
I-
wingsuiter who does like proximity flying, and like he'll fly right down in the cracks and like
I
through
see
little
that.
holes, like 6 foot. Like what he's doing is like very elite stuff. So, but I mean, if you screw up what I'm doing, it still ends in the same way, right? So you have to be on your game.
Yes,
So.
yes.
All of it does.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
how about we
I
just-
could say Africa is arguably more dangerous because it's not up to me, Like it's not up to me
Yes.
if somebody hits, like you take like a terrible examples, but somebody like Johnny Gaudreau, right? He's riding on the side of the road and gets hit by a drunk driver, right? So you never, when it's in somebody else's hands, it's not really up to you. I mean, you want to be the most competent you can and diligent, and I think I have a lot of competency in what I do, but it's not to say accidents can't happen. But again, you take an example like that, and you can be as safe as you want, and something can still happen. So I think, fuck it, you may as well just go for it.
Are you more calculated now as you get older? Do you feel that you're more calculated? Because you seem
He
more
hasn't hit
calculated.
30 yet. You're not
Yeah.
30 yet, are you?
No,
You're
not
29,
30 yet.
right?
No, 20,
Yeah, but-
28.
28. Yeah, but
28.
do you feel like, because every episode I catch you on, I've had you on like this, I think the third time I've had you on the show, and I've had no guest on 3 times, never. And today we hit
'Cause I
10,000
have so many
subscribers.
questions.
Yeah,
we
congrats on
we hit 10,000
Thank you.
subscribers, and most people go, "Oh, that's nothing," But people don't understand this show hit 10,000 subscribers. This show with Jelena and I hit 10,000 subscribers. So people don't understand how quickly that happened. But you're the only guest I think I've ever had on 3 times. I think you and Sam Alvey, because there's something connecting in my brain. Like when you swam the Okanagan, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember you telling me that.
You understand other
Mark,
people
Mark
in the world.
told me, this was before I was on the podcast,
Yeah,
and Mark's like, you
yeah.
need to tune into this. He's like,
Yeah, like, it's fucking
he's like, I'm
nuts.
so
Like, this is
stressed out. What do
crazy.
you think? And I was like, dude, I don't know anything about swimming. So like, I'm sure I'm an athlete. I understand how hard that is. Like,
Yeah.
and I sink when I swim. So I was like, not for me. But he literally called me. It was late too. And he's like, you got to watch this. He's like, sent me the link, and I was like, this is insane. So sorry to interrupt, Mark, but
So people
he
don't
literally
understand,
is
like,
invested.
but it seems like every time I've had you on, you seem a little more subdued. You seem a little bit more methodical. Is that correct or no?
I don't know about
I mean,
Sudoku,
like,
because now he's base jumping.
No, he's a little subdued. No, he's a little bit. I see you doing coaching with some guys. I seen you do the swimming pool thing with Brad. And
Yeah.
I seen that kind of stuff, and I was like, yeah, I get it. Listen, the differences too, though. Listen, and like, no offense to Brad, but if you, like, I could see it multiple times. If you're not there holding his hand, he's gonna quit, and you can fucking tell him. I could give a rat's out, because everybody knows me. I am never gonna quit at anything. But if you weren't there holding his hand on multiple occasions on multiple things, he would have bounced. And I know that in a guy, and I can say that kind of shit because it's true. But you're not that guy. You just have to turn into one documentary, everybody, and it's on YouTube right now. It's called Sink or Swim, and you go tune in. It's running on YouTube right now, is it not?
Yeah, Sink or Swim,
Yes.
and
Sink
my
or Swim.
Moab
Go
One
watch
Dirt
it.
Dog's on there as well.
Correct. You go watch that just one time, and you'll understand what I'm talking about, why I'm so hyped up all the time when I have Nick on the show, because literally there's different mindsets, and that's what I'm more concerned with. Listen, if a few guys in different sports had your mindset with their talent, you know what I mean? We'd have multiple Wayne Gretzky's in the world. So, but we don't. We only have one. And your mindset is very different, Nick. You're the guy. No offense to other people that I've seen in your videos, but you can tell those guys are going to give up. You're not.
Well, I'll stick up for Brad with that. I think I think he's
Please do.
well.
No, Nick, please do.
Yeah,
Please stick up for him and his social media platforms. Please stick up for him 100%.
No, I do because he's been somebody I've done things with, and even when I'm not around, he still gets through things and finds a way. And he was doing this before I met him. So, I mean, he's been nothing but a help and a great guy to me.
He is. But
yeah, I think, but methodically with what I've been, I don't know. I think just the experience you have. Like I do a lot of these things alone. Like recently, I've been helping other friends kind of with their things, but again, it's like investing and hopefully the favor gets repaid when I need help on something, right? So it's like just trying to work on the other side of the business, which is making it, more people to see the things you're doing and to have the brand support and, be able to, like you said, you were following along the Okanagan swim. I know now how I can be even better for, keeping people updated with live streams and then having a finalized video at the end and keeping like reels going up as it's going. Yeah. So I'm getting better at even
the pool
figuring
swim.
out how to bring people along with bring people along with the actual journey as well while it's happening, instead of just a recap at the end. So yeah, I think it's cool. Like in the Moabs and thing, like people are always watching the tracker and seeing seeing where you are. But if you're able to like show them visuals and not just a little dot on the screen, then it helps as well, right?
Totally.
So I think it's just
yeah, people fall in love with someone's story and journey, right? Like it's innate quality, like, and especially in nowadays, like they want to feel like they're a part of your life. And so that means you need to give them the visuals, you need to give them the story, you need to give them the why, you need to give them the feelings, like all of those things. And it's hard to do because you're an athlete. You're like, fuck, I got to do my job. Like I am psyching myself up to do something absolutely insane. And like, it's the last thing you need to worry about. And like you said, you're a one-man guy. You're the show. You are the production, the show, the editor, you wear all the hats, and that makes it super challenging, which makes it even more incredible what you've done and the journey that you've portrayed. And I love it. Like I am like the minute Mark sent me your Okanagan swim, and I was like, dude, this is insane. And I became a fan immediately.
Yeah, it's not even about swimming anymore. It has nothing to do with swimming.
And I've been asking about having you on. So I was like, dude, we need to like recycle all these people because I want to talk to them because I have questions.
Correct.
Yeah, for sure. No, I appreciate having me on.
It's the mindset, Nick, and that's something that has to start to get maybe book orientated. Is the mindset of what you go through in your mind, because that's every sport will listen to it, every sport will read it, every person that plays anything will understand. I know, bro. I know you. You would have rather died in the Okanagan Lake than not finish. Yes or no? Answer the question. Be honest. Would you have died or quit first?
Yeah, I mean, you go to the end, that's for sure. You go till the wheels fall
off. What does that
off.
mean, Nick? Nick, what does that mean? Would you think you would have died if your dad wasn't there? Would you have said, no, I'd rather just fucking drown at the bottom? Or
I would have kept going, yeah, for sure.
That's my point. That's my point.
Yeah, I think when I say these things too, it's like, do I think I'm going to die in these situations? It's like, no. But at the same time, I'm willing to put myself in situations where my life is on the line in a very real way. Like, obviously, base jumping, that's like evident. But like I said, in Africa, like going through these things and going into the unknowns, like I never have the answers to the questions I need before I start these endeavors. You kind of just have to figure it out along the way, right? Like, do I think I would die in a Moab type of thing? It's like, no, you have aid stations, this or that. Where actually, though, somebody just did die in Coconona 250, a race that just happened, another similar one. But I'd like to think that I put myself in these situations because it's meaningful enough to me to justify the like danger and risks. But I'm also calculated, and I've trained a lot more than anybody sees. Like, I'm not somebody who posts every single training session I've done. Like I train a lot in the dark, whereas like maybe that's why I'm not as big. Like lots of people post everything they do, whereas it's just not me. Like I want to pick and choose what I show people. And sometimes I just like to be able to do all this
is Red
stuff
Bull?
alone, you have to do it alone sometimes.
How
you
is
know?
Red Bull not all over you? How is Red Bull not all
I
over
don't
you?
know. A lot of these big companies are just hard to make
It's
those
all about
connections.
who
with.
you know.
I have
it's
to.
not. It's
I have
not
to,
about what market, but this is this because you've been in the promoting game. It's not
Correct.
about. It's not about how amazing you are. It's all about who you know. It's the connections you make,
but yeah.
and that's the thing. It's the eyes on you. I've seen shit fighters get sponsored, and you're like, dude, I am 100 times better than them.
Yeah,
However,
but is it
I
our
don't
responsibility?
have a manager. I don't have the proper manager to get me to where I am, and I don't know. Is there managers in extreme sports, like sports?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the point I'm at right now, is trying to get more like support with these things, or somebody can vouch for me that might have more network connections and things. Because I'm going to do this stuff whether I'm sponsored or not. So if like a brand wants to be a part of it, then I'm more
might as well
willing
get
to
paid to do what you're doing.
See, but this is how the package. The
story.
package is different, right? Because one day Nick wakes up and goes, "I'm going to swim 150 kilometers," or one day he wakes up and goes, "I'm going to do the Moab 250. I'm going to do, I'm going to jump from this cliff. I'm going to do there's multiple things he does. So everybody else is like one dimensional. He is like the quad. He has like 4 or 5 things that Nick can do that is very different. So maybe it's our responsibility as the Busted Lip podcast to like really tag in certain people on the now that the podcast is exponentially growing, as we're all watching with our own eyes, when the average views 7,000, 8,000, 10,000. This is organic shit. This isn't like buying shit. And then we start tagging in the Red Bulls of the world and other people, the Monster drink people of the world, and Nick is the superhero of all these guys, because there literally is, they have guys that do everything that Nick does, but individually, not one guy does it all.
I don't disagree, Mark. I think it's a lot of, and I was going to ask you, Nick, on this, like, do you find now that the social media influencing, like all of that, is it been easier to get sponsorship, or is it still the same, just as difficult?
Yeah, you still have to, not really even at the level of people just reaching out to me yet, right? Like I still have to go out and make the connections and reach out to people. Yeah, it's tough. It really is tough. And then, I feel the same. I try not to compare or get jealous, but some people I know I can do things way better than, get way more sponsorships.
Here we go.
And
This is Nick, set yourself free, baby. This is the Busted Lip podcast. Nick, set yourself free. Say it out loud. You're starting to say it now. You know you can do shit better. You know you can do shit better. But
it's again, though, with brands, I can't go. Well, I could, but if I sign, let's say, with a cycling company, and then I did a big ride last year, and then this year, I don't specifically have a big ride lined up. I have let's say a swim and a couple runs and a base jump trip. It's that cycling company would want their stuff pushed immediately, right? So I think for me, things that fit better, like apparel or nutrition style stuff, things that you can use no matter what you're doing, sunglasses, shoes, anything like that works well. And individualized stuff might work well for one-off endeavors, but yeah, I mean the best thing would be to have something that follows you throughout.
Sports recovery too. That would be huge for you, Normatec and those things. There's, I can't remember the name of it. There's the ice leggings too, ice shoulder. I can't remember.
There's so much shit. Rock tape.
But there's
what I mean? There's a
stuff.
million different kind of things that you can be.
It's the same. But it's the same thing, Mark. As the athlete, as a solo athlete who represents himself, who endorses himself, who talks about themselves, it's hard to do. You reach out and you're like, hey man, will you sponsor me? And they're like, no. You know what I did for a bit?
They don't even answer all the time.
So you know what I did is I actually created an email that was manager at Jelena Boxing, whatever. And I myself, as my agent, emailed companies, and I was like, hey man, would you be interested in, not hey man, but professionally. Yeah. But I was like, would you be interested in sponsoring Jelena for this fight? Because it's to talk about yourself sometimes is so
Yeah, it doesn't
hard.
work. It doesn't
Like,
work.
Nick, to pump your own tires, like there was points where I was like, stop. I need people to understand how incredibly amazing you did what you did was. Like, dude, I wouldn't even I mean, I wouldn't bike because I mean I would, but for like 5 kilometers. But like to bike across Africa, to like bike across Mexico with the cartels and shit like that, like that is like insanity. And like the things you do, and then not only that, a lot of this stuff you do, you raise money for charity. Like
there's that too.
Like, you know, you're just an amazing dude, but I can understand where you're coming from, where it's like, it's hard to pump your own tires. I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm fucking amazing. Actually, I'm an 8-time world champion with the highest, like, not the highest anymore, but at the time, the highest knockout ratio in women's boxing. I was knocking bitches out, like, cold. But I couldn't go to somebody and be like,
3 divisions.
Go to somebody and be like, hey, man, do you want to sponsor me? Because I'm pretty fucking badass and I knock bitches out. Like, I can't do that.
Yeah, I think for me, I work best in like, even if something's like difficult, if it's simple, it works well. And there's nothing more simple than like starting whatever endeavor you're doing. If it's swimming, cycling, running, and just not stopping until it's finished. It's like, it's not easy, but it's simple. Whereas like me sitting down and making a media kit where I need to bring in all these social stats and like write the right thing and put the picture. To me, I'd rather be like, okay, I'd rather like procrastinate this, go train. Like I know how to train, I know what to do. I'd just rather go do that. It's just like, you know, yeah, it's tough.
If it's procrastinating, Nick, or it's just like being Canadian and being, I don't know if we were just raised to be like, not talk about our shit. Like, hey man, I'm actually like, because I mean, he's now Canadian, but we had an Olympian on, and he was like, he didn't want to say how awesome what he did was. Like, he was a luge, right? Was it luge? Skull. I always
same thing, kind of thing.
And not the same. So he was a luge athlete, and he didn't want to like. He was like, oh, I went through this. And I was like, hold on. My little brother went through this. I know how hard that was. But so it's the same thing. I don't know if it's that we're just product of our environment and we don't want to be like, you know what I did was actually really cool. And any American, you talk to any American and they're like, yeah, I did this, I did that. I'm the best. I'm this, I'm that.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
Again, we're obviously generalizing, obviously. However, I think it's just hard to like pump your own tires. So that's why you procrastinated.
You see the guys in the Moab when they were doing the interviews, when they were on the trails, and you saw the American guys, the way they were talking, like, and a lot of your bros that were American that were doing it. There's a totally different swagger. They had a very different way of talking. And, you know, you see you and you're like, hey, how you doing? You know, blah, blah, blah. And they see your American friends and they're just they're King Kong in it. Right. And that's the difference. And people notice that. And I know it's hard to do. And it's like, it's almost like you're drowning when you're doing it, but it doesn't matter. You have to figure a way. Listen, I'm only speaking from experience, guys, because I owned this little show one time called the MFC, which was the biggest MMA show in the country for 16 years. And you know what's
Mark's
funny?
not afraid to pump his own tires ever. And I love it.
Listen, okay, so I won't give you the example, and you two guys figure it out because
I'm sorry, Mark. I love it. I love it. I wish I was more like that.
I did figure it out because my wife said we're never going to be huge unless you get on your soapbox and start singing, and I did, and I sang to the point of people, major league people, flying to Edmonton to put money into my organization, and then I started to watch, and I was like, you know what? I got to pick a fight every day. I didn't want to fight with people. I was a calm Canadian guy. I never said shit to nobody. All of a sudden I changed because I realized I was never going to get to where I get to, and I'm never going to regret it by going, well, I just didn't want to say anything. Bullshit. I couldn't stop it after because I saw it work. And that's all it was. It was a mind shift. It was one small mind shift and everything changed. And I'm not bragging about it. I'm trying to explain it to you, Nick, because you have a window of opportunity with what you're doing. And it's only, you're not going to be jumping off cliffs at 50. Hopefully not. But what I'm saying is, yeah, hope so. Yeah, maybe you're right. But what I'm saying is that for this thing to keep rolling and keep going, I'm not saying you got to pull a Randy Macho Man Savage, but you gotta there. I see all your American buddies with way more social media following than you. And I'm like, what? Why? Because they're those guys. And I'm not saying it's bad, but we're watching them just like anybody else, but they're just being
Hold on.
watched more.
Mark, we aren't here to lecture our guests, even though I feel like I'm getting lectured too, because I agree. Listen,
you all are. So
listen.
Everything
Everything
you
Mark
didn't write
says,
down
Nick,
shit.
Nick, I'm almost 44, and everything he says, I could swear on my life, like, I wish I would have done sooner. Like, so coming from an athlete who has been through the same struggles as being a Canadian athlete, and basically a solo athlete, right? Like, even though I have a coach and this and that, I represent myself, and from being in that, and not only a solo athlete, but you're an entrepreneur in your sport. Like, what you do isn't known for everything. You're a pioneer. Pioneer is the word I was looking for. You're a pioneer for Canadians in what you do. And so being one of those people, I have to say, even though Mark has been preaching this to me for 15 years, I wish I would have listened earlier. I can honestly say, like, I wish I would have taken his advice. I always take his advice, but I wish I would have put it into action a lot sooner. And, I don't ever regret anything I've done, but I do look back and think to myself, what if I fucking would have done it differently?
But you know what the crazy, Jay, what you're saying is so true, because when you think about the small things, like certain people making more money than you in the sport right now, that those same people were ducking you 7, 8, 9 years, you know what I mean? And it's like, you look at it and you just go, no.
Forget 7, 8, 9 years ago. COVID.
Correct.
I was supposed to fight Baumgartner.
There you go.
I was supposed to fight Baumgartner.
And I'm saying the same thing with Nick, though. I can name 4 of his buddies. on Instagram
hold
that
on,
got
let me
way
finish,
more of
Mark.
this. And
hold on, Mark.
Okay,
I'm saying, as an athlete, I would take his advice to heart, because, like, you do need to pump your own tires sometimes. And that brings in the notoriety, the views, the eyes, the sponsors, all of the things. So we're not here to lecture you, because I think you're fucking badass. I secretly want to be your best friend / 3 arms length away, because you're too reckless for me, because I'm old as fuck. But in my younger days, you would have been like, you want to go for a bike ride across Africa? I'd be like, fuck it, let's do it. Not now. My knees would blow out. But, for me, like, I'm looking at you when I was at a pivotal moment in my career. I wish I would have actually done the shit, because I'd be in a different space. So.
I think that's why I went, like, down to the States. So, I took that leap. I didn't know anybody. Just got in my converted school bus and went down and
can we talk about that?
Because
that's fucking
that's
cool.
So cool. That's
also,
so cool.
Can we talk
let me talk about this
bus?
quick, and then we'll talk about the school bus. But I think,
sorry.
Yeah, I think I know what I've done and can do, and, like, I think if you put your happiness in the hands of, like, your viewers, at times you're always playing for their applause, and it can get, like, tough with social media, because you're always, like, living based off the views and this and that. Whereas, like, what I've tried to do is be genuine no matter what. If I do have a failure, like that Hawaii swim, I'm trying to show, like, hey, this is what it looks like when you push as hard as you can, but you just don't have it that day. Or, like, when I do have success, you try and bring people in the whole time. But like I said, I know, like, cycling across Africa, like, as hard as these races like Moab are, this or that, it's like, you have an aid station every 20 miles at the most. You're going to have a crew, or you're going to have somebody to help you. Whereas, like, I don't think people realize how much of just, like, a lifestyle had to become in Africa, where you have to, like, watch your own back for safety. You're getting up, you're saying your own route each day. You're doing the 12 hours of cycling on top of trying to film all day. Then you're trying to find a place to stay at night. And I'm celiac, so when I get there, I got to find, like, a can of tuna and, tomatoes to eat at night, instead of just getting a nice meal off the street. And then, like, you're trying to find your water. You might get sick, or anything that has to happen, it has to happen via you. So I think, like, I know what I've done, and no matter what anybody says, I have that confidence. But at the same time, it's like I'm not going to just do things on social media for other people. I'm going to do it because that's what I want to
I
do.
don't.
So I'm just trying to make it, the whole story I
Yeah,
have
I
and
don't
make
think.
money and things
But
off
Nick,
what
that
I'm
I don't think.
already doing.
I don't think Mark was saying. And again, I'm sorry to speak on your behalf, Mark, but like for me too, like we're saying, be authentically, genuinely you, which means
Yeah.
sharing the struggles, the failures, the successes, the triumphs. Like I'm not saying, and I don't think Mark's saying is like be someone different, but just like when you're talking about you, just be like, yeah, I fucking did this. And share what you just said. Hey, like when I was in Africa, like, and I wanted to talk about, we could talk to you for hours, I'm sure, but like, being a celiac and having to do that, and this is why I stopped you when you were just blown over Africa, and I was like, hold on, like that is badass. And like, how did you do it? Did you coordinate it on your own? Did you ask someone where you could go, where you could stop? Where did you stop? Did you sleep in a fucking tent? Did you stay in a hotel? Like, I have so many questions that we just don't have time for. But like, own that shit, I think is what Mark's trying to say.
Yes.
It's like, you know what? Yell it from the rooftops because it's okay.
Listen,
I
there's
don't
no
share
lecture.
a lot of my training either. I don't share
You do
any
not.
of my training. I
You
should.
do not.
But like a lot of the shit we do, and you're like, again, because you're a one-man army, same as me. Like it's just me and my backpack, and I'm like, I don't have time to film me. I wear boxing gloves. I can't hold the fucking camera. You know what I mean? So I understand you completely. I just,
Set up a tripod.
I wish
Set up a tripod. Set
and
up
put
a
it right to my
tripod.
head while I'm
No,
getting
and this has
punched
a
in
little
the
control
face.
here, and this thing goes really high or really low, and you can set it up, and you can make sure that people see what you do. Because if you don't let them see it, I can have Mick fucking Jagger sitting right next to me right now. Unless I show you Mick Jagger, no one's going to know he's here. Think about that for 1 second. You will not know he's here. And I'm not telling Nick not to be Nick, and I'm not lecturing Nick. I want people to know who he is, and I'm
I
pissed.
agree.
Today I'm pissed
I agree.
because I want him to know. I want him to know. I don't want to be the nerd calling everybody, telling them that he's swimming this or he's doing this. I want him because I know talent. I know people that are special, and I want other people to know about them.
Nick, I personally would love to see the journey of whatever you could film, and even if it's like a daily, and Mark knows this about me, I think outside the box, like I think when I talk, but even if it's like a daily diary, like fuck, I'd tune in every single night just to listen to like your thoughts at the end of the night, like, hey, like, you know what, today really fucking sucked, like I felt like shit, or like today was a super awesome day and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. It could be 5 seconds. I would tune in every single day to listen to that because I think what you do is so empowering.
Me too.
For a mindset, for a
Totally agree.
mentality, for being fucking badass. Like,
Correct.
what I do, I think is crazy as well. Like for boxing, especially at my age, like I think anybody who chooses to get hit in the head is crazy. I think what you do is absolutely insane. And that's respectfully.
And then what I like about it, you don't think it's insane, Nick. That's what I love about it. Because we all think it's insane. We use the word insane about you all the time. But I know deep down, you don't think it is. And that's what makes you different.
Yeah, well, I think there's this old saying, it goes like, for those who understand, no explanation is needed. And for those who don't, no explanation is possible. It's like, I talk about this with my base jump friends too.
Me too.
And
Me too.
Hold on, can you repeat that? Can you repeat
wait a
that
second,
one?
Nick.
'Cause
Nick, wait.
Nick,
I need that one
I'm
too.
sorry.
I'm actually, for the first time, going to actually write this down. Go ahead.
For those who understand, no explanation is necessary. And for those who don't understand, no explanation is possible.
I love that. I don't know if you want to quote where that. I don't know where that's from, but it's.
Yeah,
I love that.
But
who is it from?
I
Nick?
love that. He doesn't know.
I'm not
he
sure.
just
You
said.
could Google it probably, but
We'll Google it.
yeah. But I mean,
I love that.
I mean, like I talk to my friends who are base jumpers, let's say, and like most people would look at it as like a crazy thing, but to us, it's like we were just on this base jump trip, and now coming back to like real life, it's like you almost feel like hard to integrate back in with people, and
I
like
would
you're
imagine.
used to living right on this like these adrenaline pumps and dumps and the dopamine and everything. It's like to us that feels like real life, like that's the most purest form of living. And to us, it's like crazy that other people don't want to feel and experience that. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of how I feel with all the things I do.
I have questions about that. So what I fight, I call it like post-fight depression. That's what I would call it. Like it's, you have this, and I don't know, like you do maybe not for the jumps, but for all of the other things, you do all this training building up to one event, right? Like, is that correct or no? Yeah. And then
like I said, like a lot of my training is like running, cycling, swimming all hits the same cardiovascular most of the time, but like you kind of specialize as you go, more shoulder training if you're going to swim coming up, more like running and, ascending stuff. You got to run, like things like that.
So I have a fight, right? Like you build up 8 weeks for one night, and then you have this fight, and everybody's asking you all these questions and this and that. Fight happens, and then you're like adrenaline dump, obviously very different. However, and then you're like, after you're just like, what the fuck? And you fall into this like massive depression. You're like, now what? What do I do now? Like integrating back into normal life. So it's very interesting to me because normal athletes like basketball, baseball, football, they get
another shot at it the next day.
Another shot. You get one event, one chance, one opportunity.
Well, I think it's very cool. Like I'd say in the ultra space, there's like two types of ultra. There's something like the Mob 240, which would be more similar to like your boxing, where it's like you train and it's an event that'll last if it's a day or a few days, but it's a finite amount of time. It will end. Or something like my bike rides in Africa, like that's a lifestyle, right? Like you have 12 hours a day of cycling, but it's day after day after day after day. So I think it's very cool to have this like one goal that you're like solely focused on for such a long amount of time. But I'll tell you, like some of the worst days was right when I finished my trip in Africa, and I'm sitting alone in the hotel room waiting for my flight the next day. And I'm like overeating because like I've had this huge appetite for so many days, and I get anything I want now, and I eat way too much candy and like ice cream. You just feel like shit. Your family's not around. You have nobody at the finish line with you. It's like the peak moment at the end, and then it's all like done. And I think like I also do like a daily journal every day, and I have been writing a book, and it's going to come out at some point, but I've had all these things, but I think it's important to do like reflection on all these after, like you do the lead up, you do the training, you execute, and then I think the reflection periods where you take away the lessons that you learned, how you can make it better for the next one, how you can prepare better, like what your takeaways from it, right? And I think with me, the thing is, if I have like a run or I just did a huge cycle and I might be burnt out on cycling, what I like about the versatility is I could go on a base trip the next day and be so fired up and pumped. And then if I'm done base jumping, I could go and I could do, a run or like a swim. If I get tired or if I'm injured in my legs, I can go to the pool. If I got a shoulder injury, I can go run. Like I'm just trying to hit it from every angle and just keep the wheels rolling all the time. So while I might not be like the best, let's say, ultra runner, there will be guys who will be faster because that's the reality of it. That's all they're doing. They will be better at that. But I don't want to give up my versatility because I know the experience of finishing cycling Africa. I also know what it feels like to swim Okanagan. Whereas like, I know what it feels like to finish Moab. I know what it feels like to jump off cliffs in Switzerland. It's like, I want to have all those experiences.
Love that. Do you think the journaling and the reflection helps your post-event depression and going back into normal society? This is interesting.
I started journaling just to get thoughts out of my mind. Like I always had a bunch of these thoughts or epiphanies or things that I want to remember. And it just got like my brain cluttered all the time trying to think of it. So if I put it on paper, get it out, like my journals aren't like a like formatted thing. It's just like say this happened, this, and then some days they're small, some days are big. Like it depends what happened. Right?
I think
it does help. It just like it's almost like a therapy, right? It like lets you reflect on what you've done.
So like you in your hotel room eating all the shit, feeling like garbage because you've eaten all this shit and your body's not used to it. You in the hotel room, you do your journaling, your reflection. Does that make you feel better? I'm asking because I have a lot of friends, and I personally go through this with post-fight depressions, and like Tyson Fury is a big name who he goes through the same thing, and he thinks he's abnormal. He thinks he's crazy. And I'm like, no, a lot of athletes go through this. We just don't talk about it openly. We don't talk about the mental health challenges post events. And so this is why I'm like very interested in, is that method for you? Is that a method for you dealing with your post event depression, or is it helping you, or is it just like another tool?
Yeah, I think it definitely does help because not only do I look back and like get the good memories from what I had, I can also like think about what's coming up next. Like during my bike rides, all I'm thinking about is like what I'm going to do after the bike ride once I'm done it, like what thing I want to do, this or that, or like who I want to see family wise, or all this. It's just like that's what I do where I'm always traveling or something. Because for me, it's like the in between moments where like I'm stagnant, or like it might not actually be, but to me it feels stagnant. I'm in one place too long, and I'm just like. But also at the same time, the best training you can get is like dialing in and having a good bed to sleep in and good nutrition and good schedule, right? So it's a mix because you don't always get that if you're living out of a school bus and you have to go to gas stations, go to the bathroom, and you got to find a place to park each night, and like it's just different. Yeah, I think journaling's been I've done it for probably 5 or 6 years now, basically every day, no matter what I've done.
Nick, before we wrap up, man, what's coming up next? What's the big thing coming up next?
So I got Bigfoot 200. It's a 200-mile race in August. I got Mammoth 200 in October. I'd like to climb Aconcagua in December, which is the tallest mountain in South America. And then I'm going to have one other event coming up, I think, in June, but I haven't finalized
June this year?
So, yeah, June this year.
What's the one in June this year that you're not telling us?
I can't say yet.
What do you mean you can't say? Why don't you break it on the show, man?
No, I can't say yet because I'm not sure if it's going to happen yet. So
okay, I know how you are about that.
Yeah. I don't want to put it out there if it's not going to come through yet. But
if it happens, tag us in it, and we'll share it and we'll promo it for you so we can get you some support.
Thank you.
Okay, before we wrap up.
But every month or something, I'll be doing at least something, some type of stream challenge or some type of run or bike or something. So.
Well, before we wrap all the way up, Jelena, I'll give you the last word here about Nick for me. Come on.
There's so many things to say about Nick. Like, I still have so many questions. And like I said, I feel like we could talk to you for hours. I love your mindset. I love your tenacity. I'm a big fan, and I want to see where your journey takes you. As someone who has small nieces and nephews and younger sisters and siblings, my heart was already palpitating listening to your journeys, and I hope you stay safe. And I know you train for all this and you understand, and maybe when you're my age, you'll get more not as reckless in life, but I love it. I want to share your journeys. I implore everybody to follow you and support you and do all of the things because I think you're incredible. I think I'm crazy. I've been told I'm crazy for boxing, but like I appreciate everything you do, and I am amazed. So I look forward to seeing what's next.
And Nick, what can you leave with our listeners? And I know you're writing a book and everything, but I just kind of want to know, what the people watching our show now, and as it keeps growing and growing and growing, I just love the idea that you can leave, viewers with something like the whole non-giving up mentality, but I'm saying it in that kind of way, but I know what kind of like you can leave people with.
I think my motto is comfort breeds complacency. Actually, oh my god!
Oh, but that's what your podcast is called, right?
Yeah, it's in my swim merch and everything. But
fantastic.
I think like if you just say what it is, like comfort breeds complacency. I think I do these challenges and things, and I remember finishing America, and when it happened, people said like, "Oh, you don't have to do anything for the rest of your life. You don't want like you did it. Like, that's amazing. I remember thinking like, oh, I can't have peaked at like 20 years old, right? So I try and take my previous high and make it my baseline and just keep stacking. And like, I feel like if I get too comfortable and I get complacent, that's why I'm always trying to, I do an event, I train well for it, I execute, I enjoy it, I celebrate. I think that's a big part. But then,
Celebrate.
I reflect and then I move on to the next one. I'm going to be proud about things I've done, but I'm not going to, stay on them forever, be like the good old days kind of guy. But I think it's just, for anybody out there, it's just following your passion. I think a life full of passion is a life well spent, and it doesn't have to make sense to other people. It just has to make sense to you.
Yeah.
If you got enough passion, you'll find a way to make it happen.
Everybody.
Nick, I think we're like kindred spirits for sure.
Yes.
Like, anyway, sorry, go on, Mark.
No, I was just going to say, we can't thank you enough, Nick, for being on the show. And like I said, there's very few people that have ever been on the Bus Lit podcast 3 times. And there's a reason you are, and it's because you are extra special. And I mean that with all my heart. And I'm telling you, people, I will make sure, and I will do everything in my small powers to, let this episode rain and rain and rain. Well, no, sometimes yes, sometimes no. It all depends, But what I'm saying is, I want people to know, and I think finance is the next step. Like, finance has to become more of a thing for you.
Priority.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
everybody, I'm trying.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for having me on. I always appreciate the support. And if people want to follow along, they can watch like all these videos from Africa, Sink or Swim, my swim documentary, my Moab One Dirt Dog on my YouTube, Nick Pelletier. And Instagram's just NP Adventure. That's like where everything is for me. So
I'll put it all on our stuff too, Nick. I will. I promise.
Perfect.
And you'll see.
Beautiful.
It's becoming. This podcast is becoming very different when it comes to like the promotion of it and the long draws of episodes. How they start out something and they end at something else. It's really fun to watch, and that's from our subscribership that I'm noticing that happening. And like I said, when I was flying back from Vancouver today, my wife's laughing because I'm like, there's just some cats that are built different. And it's not built different like I'm going to score a hockey goal or I'm going to do this. If you show people what people see you do, that's just not normal. That's not like, it's just something very different, and that needs to be celebrated. Like you said, we got to celebrate it. We're not going to revel in it. We're going to celebrate it, but we're going to celebrate every time you win, every time you're going to do something, we're going to follow it. And it's our responsibility too, as our podcast, to put it out there so more people know, and those finances raise awareness. There you go, Jay. Raise awareness. And it's been happening more and more with this podcast with our guests, and it's working. And that's so important because I'm telling you, you're one of one, Nick, and that's something special.
I appreciate that. No, I've always appreciated the support you've given me, and yeah, it means a lot.
Everybody, Nick Pelletier on the show today. Nick, thank you so much. And bro, we will definitely see you again. There's no question.
Oh yeah. Well, I appreciate it, guys.
We'll see you again.
Thanks, Nick.
Right.
We'll see you later, bro. Thank you, bro. Fantastic. You just cancel it there, Nick. You're all set.
Leave there? Okay.
Yeah, you're all set. Yeah.
And hit leave and then let it upload.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, buddy. Thanks, Nick. Nick Pelletier, everybody on the Bus Lit podcast. And like I said, it's like
I was like mind blown. Like when I had so many questions, but I wanted to let him speak. But I have so many questions still. Like, dude, like, did he sleep in a tent on the side of the road in Africa? And if he did, wasn't he scared of getting eaten by a fucking lion? Like, or trampled by all of these things.
Jay,
like
that's what I'm
when
trying
he
to tell
was
you.
in Mexico. When he was in Mexico, what about the cartels? You were just fucking biking along. Like, you hear all these horror stories.
They'll just shoot him to shoot him, right? They'll just shoot him to shoot him. You know,
especially as Canadians. Like, does he not have any worries? You know what?
I know.
Like, I literally, you know me, I'm like super anti, and like anytime the kids are going down a hill super fast,
of course,
Like, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, like he was riding on a fucking bike up in Mexico. Oh, like,
it is, Jay.
Mark, you saw me at one point. I was like holding my heart, and I was like, I have anxiety on a massive level.
Correct.
And like, I love adrenaline. You know this. This is why I crave fighting, and
Sure.
I literally feel like Nick is my kindred spirit. Like, you know, you set a goal, you achieve the goal, you set the goal higher, you set the bar higher. Like, I hear that. Like, I'm an 8-time world champion, 3 weight divisions, and I want to be a 4 division, 12-time world champion.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
You know, it's going to happen, and it is what it is, and that mindset is crazy, but so I'm saying I know that what I do is crazy, but what he does is insanity. Like jumping off a fucking cliff. Why? The ground is
I'm telling you, he drags that parachute. He goes down low too, man. He's playing with everybody today.
I watched it,
low.
When I watched
He's low.
I watched like this.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
I literally watched
Me
my
too.
computer like this. Like, what a great guest. Thank you.
Well, let's not forget everybody. Let's not forget everybody. Crystal Glass Canada, your clear choice for all your glass needs. Crystalglass.ca, 310 Glass. Been going over for 75 plus years, everybody. Crystal Glass for, you know, it's your clear choice, baby. Your clear choice. And let's not forget Gems for Gems, you know, dealing with domestic abuse. And we really have a soft spot for Gems because of the hard work they do for people that do deal with domestic violence. So we're going to leave all that for you here today on the Busted Lip podcast. We want you to tune in every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Mountain, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. But when I got that text today that said 10,000, and Jelena said, you know what? We ain't celebrating until 25,000 after this one.
No,
So
after this one.
After this one. But we will find a time this week, and we will champagne it together, and we will put it online for everybody, because we do believe in celebrating. We believe in celebrating these victories.
Celebrating your achievements. Yes. It's funny. I texted Mark today. I said, "Holy shit, we made 10,000."
I was on the plane.
I didn't think it was going to happen till later in the summer.
Yes.
So
we both thought that.
Thank you for all the support. Super
That's
appreciate
man.
it.
We love it.
Totally. Because I didn't appreciate it. I was like, well, I got approval from my sister to celebrate 10,000, 25, 50, then it goes to 100, and then like 250. So
yeah, and I agree with that. And then from there we'll take it to a whole nother planet. But you know, I'm super happy, but I'm also like, okay, more guests, more content, more shorts.
Also, like
more of this, more of that. Yeah.
I know we got to wrap it up, but like, I didn't actually think anybody would want to listen to me and my no filter. So thank you, Mark, for inviting me to be on this podcast with you, because I love meeting guests like Nick tonight, and like all of the guests that we've had. Like, this just fills my bucket, fills my cup, and I
think people understand this about you too. But that's what people are understanding about you too, Jay. Now they're understanding, like, oh yeah, this is the girl, and like there was kind of an image of you, but there's nothing wrong with your image. Your image is dope, man. Like, I've known you for 20 plus years, and you're like fun to hang out with, and you're like, listen, and you're not a big partier, but when you do party, watch out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're not a party girl, but when you do party, it's nuts. But people don't know that, like, how close you are with family and friends, and how you're you are the one that's there. You know, like, you're not the bullshit person. Like, I'm there for you. Like, that's not bullshit. That's who you are. And that's why this is working. I'm telling you, people are seeing that on the Busted Lip podcast. And it's just super exciting. And no, I won't stop.
No,
I won't.
Saying,
today's the day, man. Today's the day.
All I wanted to say, I appreciate you, and thank you for help us having this experience together, because I fucking love our guests. I am fans of all of our guests.
Me too.
New things that they've done, like the minute I see it. So I appreciate all of the subscribers. Thank you. Like and subscribe if you haven't already.
That's right.
And yeah, I'm super excited to celebrate 10,000.
Listen, guys, that's the 8-time 3-division world WBC, WBA boxing champion, Jelena Mrdjenovich. I'm Mark Pavelich. Tune in every Tuesday. New episode drops on the Busted Lip podcast. We'll see you next week, everybody.